Welcome to Pufa Media, where we bring you stories of resilience, transformation, and the power of unity. Previously in Part 3, we witnessed how the people of Nambara, Galazoma, and Zandoria rose beyond their struggles, turning their land into a beacon of hope. They extended their hands to neighboring villages, offering guidance, knowledge, and unity. Their legacy of strength and determination continued to grow. But today the story takes a personal turn, a story of love, destiny, and the unexpected ties that bind people together. Part 4, The Union of Fate. With peace and prosperity now flourishing across Nambara, life had begun to settle into something beautiful. Crops were plentiful, children laughed freely in the streets, and for the first time in generations, hope was not just a dream, it was reality. But in the heart of this newfound joy, Jobe, one of the voices of the revolution, the young man who had used the power of words to ignite change, was searching for something deeper. He had spent years fighting for his people, building a future where survival was not the only goal. Now he longed for something personal, a partner to share this future with. Tradition dictated that a man must find his wife from a noble home, one that shared his values of strength, wisdom, and love for the people. And so Job's search took him across the lands of Nambara, Galazoma, and Zandoria. He met many remarkable women, but none who truly captured his heart. Then one evening, as he sat by the elders discussing the future of their people, an old friend mentioned a name he had not heard in years. "Nelia is still unmarried," the elder said with a knowing smile. Job's heart paused for a moment. Nelia, the woman who had stood on a wooden crate in Zandoria, her voice cutting through the silence like thunder. The woman who had spoken truth when others feared to. The woman who had helped lead their people toward freedom. How had he not thought of her before? Determined, Joe gathered his family, elders, and closest friends. According to tradition, a man did not go alone to ask for a bride's hand. His people went with him as a sign of respect and unity. Together, they set out on the journey to Nelia's village, a small but proud settlement deep in the heart of Nambara. But destiny had one more surprise in store for Joe. As Joe and his people neared the village, the elders among them began whispering among themselves. "This land," one of them murmured, "it looks familiar." When they arrived, they were welcomed with open arms. Nelia's family was honored by their presence, and as was tradition, they gathered in the village square to discuss the terms of the union. Gifts were exchanged, blessings were given, and the excitement of a wedding filled the air. But then an elder from Nelia's village stood and spoke. "You have come here to seek the hand of our daughter, but do you know the roots from which you came?" he asked. Joe looked at the elder with confusion. The man continued, "Your grandfather, he was one of us." Gasps spread through the crowd. Unbeknownst to Job, his lineage traced back to this very village. His grandfather had been born here before leaving decades ago in search of a better life, a journey that had ultimately led Job's family to Galazoma. Joe was not just seeking a wife. He was unknowingly returning to the land of his ancestors. The realization struck him deeply. This was more than fate, it was destiny. The wedding was unlike any seen before. It was not just a marriage between Job and Nelia. It was a reunion of bloodlines, of lost histories, of a people who had once been separated but were now whole again. The celebration lasted for days. Music echoed through the night. The scent of rich feasts filled the air, and voices sang songs of unity and love. The elders, once burdened by memories of hardship, now danced with the youth, celebrating the future they had fought so hard to build. On the final night of the wedding, Joe stood before the gathered crowd. Hand in hand with Nelia, he spoke. Our people have seen darkness, but we have risen. We have been broken, but we have healed. And now we do not just survive, we thrive. This is not just our wedding. This is a symbol that no matter how far we are scattered, we are one. Cheers erupted, and for the first time in generations, the people of Nambara, Galazoma, and Zandoria did not look forward with fear, but with hope. With Nelia by his side, Joe continued to work for their people, but now with a deeper purpose. Together, they expanded their mission beyond their own villages, reaching distant lands that still suffered under the same hardships they once knew. They were no longer just a voice for their people, they were a voice for all those who had been forgotten. And so the legacy of Nambara, Galazoma, and Zandoria continued, not just as a story of survival, but as a story of unity, strength, and love. Because in the end, no matter how far we wander, the roots of our past will always find a way to guide us home. Thank you for watching Pufa Media. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for part 5, where Jobe and Nelia's journey continues as they take their message of hope to the world beyond their homeland.